individual who's going to be doing the interview today. And of course, Cathy, as the former general manager and vice president of our local CBS and Fox and in news for over 30 years, is just a great individual to lead us today. So what a great way to start off our brand new interviews and insights. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Cathy and General Menace. And I'm going to put myself on speaker view and hide my video as well, and we can listen to the interview. So with that, thank you all very much, and look forward to this wonderful start to a great presentation series. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate the introduction, and it's wonderful to see you, General. But before we get started, I understand you are an incredible Bills fan, so I need to know what you thought of the game last night.
Yeah, Cathy, thanks for asking. You know, I think I was in high school last time we won or maybe I was in college. No, it's been a long time since we won a playoff game. So we're thrilled, you know, that, you know, New York's only, you know, pure team is doing so well. So yeah, that's actually, I shared with Kelly last night, and I've been here about 8.5 months. That's the first time I watched TV in 8.5 months.
Well, it was worth your time.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Great. Well, I'd like to start out by asking you how you and our soldiers are faring in Afghanistan, and whatever you can share about day-to-day operations and your mission.
Yeah, Cathy, thanks for asking. I really appreciate the concern. And Tom, thanks for the introduction. You know, Kelly and I, first of all, love having the opportunity to live in the North Country. You know, she and I grew up in Buffalo, never had an opportunity really to, you know, be a part of the upstate and North Country team, but we're just feel blessed to be a part of your community and have this opportunity. The folks here are doing great. You know, certainly if you see the news about us, and there's a lot going on in the country, so I wouldn't suggest that Afghanistan is top of anybody's reading list. But you know, we're in a great part in the campaign where we're actually attempting to help the Afghans get to a peace. And you know, for the 189 soldiers from the 10th Mountain who've lost their life in this effort, you know, we are grateful for the opportunity to try to see this through some sort of peaceful resolution, and sort of a higher end, you know, goal, I think, for the United States of America, for us. But we feel, you know, blessed to represent the states here, our country, and be a part of a really a 39 nation team that's here for the Afghans. Our soldiers are doing a great job. It is, you know, you'd be proud of them. You know, every day they do a lot of different things in support of our mission. You know, when I was here on several different occasions, we led a lot of the fighting personally. Gratefully, now the Afghan Defense Forces is doing more of that, and our guys are supporting that. And that support role comes in tons of different descriptions. And, you know, I wish I could share with you what they do on a daily basis. But, you know, what I'm excited to watch and excited to be a part of is just they do it with honor. They do it selfishly, and you know, they keep coming. We just sent 110, the 1st Brigade of the 10th Mountain, home. Elements from 431 under some great leadership there. Our cab, Daryl Doremus, led that unit here, and they just returned. And Erin Miller, who's also a Buffalonian, is our Sustainment Brigade commander. She's over here leading a remarkable logistical effort. In addition to all the stuff we do in direct support of the Afghans, we've also had the responsibility to retrograde the theater. And so when our team arrived, we, you know, had probably about 3 or 4 times the equipment and bases that we currently have. And Erin has helped lead a remarkable logistics effort, and do so responsibly, and care for the millions and millions and millions of dollars of equipment that we've been entrusted to care for. So in total, I just want to tell you, you know, Cathy, we awesome service here by our soldiers, and they just continue to do remarkable things. And I'm fortunate enough to sit back and get a chance to watch them every day. So thanks for asking, Cathy.
Well, one of the things that we're all focused on is the rollout of COVID-19 vaccines. And I'm curious as to how that is affecting our soldiers abroad, your group in Afghanistan, and also what the rollout will look like on Fort Drum after medical personnel are inoculated.
Yeah, thanks again, Kathy. I think it's a great question. We're all very interested to take part in an effort to, beat this virus and get back to normal operations. So we are pretty high on the priority. We'll get vaccinations here in Afghanistan soon. We get a really good share of them on Fort Drum. We're fortunate, with Tom and others, we have awesome medical facilities that can accept the Pfizer vaccine. It's currently a volunteer endeavor to take the vaccine. You have to be a volunteer because of where it is from FDA approvals. We're fortunate that we have a very high volunteerism or volunteer rate. So I think that's a credit to our leadership and our desire to, protect ourselves so we can continue the mission I just described, both here in Afghanistan and where the nation needs us, but also our family and our community. I am encouraged by the number of volunteers across both our community in North Country and here that are very eager, to get the vaccine, to help limit the spread. And so we're very confident that, we'll get a pretty good percentage here in the next month and a half. Now, the Army, like the rest of the Department of Defense, are monitoring the distribution and how it's done so we don't waste any of the vaccines. Mm-hmm. As you said, we'll make sure medical providers are top tier people on ready standard will get the vaccine. Leaders, we think it's important that the leaders get it to lead by example. There's a lot of discussion about should we as leaders take it first, because it was looked at by me as like, wow, this is sort of a privilege to get a vaccine. And but we find is it's important, almost like anything, is when there's uncertainty, our leadership is stepping forward to take to get the vaccination again and lead by example. And so I think with that we'll be well on our way to getting the community immunities that we need to defeat this virus. So again, large number coming, got a lot of volunteers, and our folks will lead the team through getting that vaccine that will protect our community.
Have inoculation started on post?
I am a little bit out of shape, out of touch with that. Brett Funk and Sergeant Major Trennis are leading that. I think they arrived this weekend, and I know they're due for shots shortly.
Given all the challenges that you've faced over these last few years in Afghanistan and what's going on with COVID, has your approach to leading soldiers changed at all? As you've grown old and more experienced.
Older and more experienced, I think that's very polite, Kathy. And I say yes. I think I am fortunate, as I said, I work around a lot of great people. I probably, without any reservation, can tell you I have the best job in America, frankly. And I get to learn from people every day. So our approach to leadership, I think from my perspective, as I watch us manage and lead, I think you need to lead a little bit different for every person you touch, right? So to learn how to inspire folks or get things done or how to manage, I am constantly evolving myself. And I find myself, frankly, Kathy, not doing as well as I would like, actually. And so, yeah, I think there's some fundamental truths to, leadership or being a part of a great team, really, which I think is articulated very well in our Army values. Are you a person that understands their duty, and do you understand the qualities of loyalty and where they should be placed? Do we understand, how to demonstrate respect and selfless service and be a person of courage, be a person of integrity, someone you can trust? So those things I think are truths that, I, for one, try to live up to. But I think, how to apply, motivation and inspiration, I learn every day about how to do that, frankly. Truthfully here, leading or being a part of the leadership team of 39 different nations, how we get things done here is different than I do it at home, where I have, different levels of authority over people here, believe it or not, although I'm sort of in charge of a lot of things, or not as the operations officer. There's not really, direct line authorities, right? And so what I've had to do is learn how best to fit into this team and understand what my boss wants, understand what the nation wants, and then, try to, again, determine how to, best contribute. So yeah, I think I learn every day. I think there's truths to leadership, but, and maybe, I'm probably not the smartest dude in the room that it takes me a while to learn, but I think, and I appreciate you asking that question. For 37 years in uniform, I still find myself amazed at how much I learn almost every day.
How are you being a commander of Fort Drum when you're in Afghanistan? Now, that's got to be a little difficult.
Yeah, I think it is. Good news, we got a great team at home. Brett Funk and Sergeant Major Trennis, Jeff Lucas, Jason Williams, the community's all there. So things are in place. What I try to do is figure out how to help. I stay engaged. A lot of my evening, it's of course morning there. I get a chance to, touch base with leaders, counsel them, or learn from them about what they're experiencing and how I can help. Still, I'm responsible for the training and readiness of the division and operations on post. So, trying to understand how I can help has been another awesome opportunity. But it's tough. I think the Army recognizes that. I think we're going to take another close look at where the division commander from the 10th Mountain Other Division should be in the future. But it is a bit of a challenge. Now, it's, like I said, great opportunity to be here with the team that is deployed. So, it's sort of a mixed blessing, I suppose.
Since you've spent almost half of your time as commander of Fort Drum in Afghanistan, do you think that might lead you to be able to stay at Fort Drum longer?
No, well, Cathy, I wish it would, but I'm not sure. I think generally the career path development and who they want to come to 10th Mountain, my guess is they'll likely replace us, at the 2-year mark, which is traditionally been the point when people change. So, if they ask me what I want to do, I'd stay right there at 10th Mountain.
I will hope they'll ask that.
I hope they ask too.
One of the things, I think it was in November, the New York Board of Regents agreed to reciprocity for teacher spouses of active military. And this was a huge process and took quite a while. And it was a cooperation between the military and civilian population. How big a deal is that really?
Cathy, it's a huge deal. I think, how many of our spouses it touches, is probably in the dozens. But what that says, I think what New York's done, what you guys have helped do is respect to challenge a military family with a professional that isn't in the military. He or she can come and start working, right? So I think that is really important. I think the wellness of the family, the attraction Northern New York has for our families. We already benefit from, you guys have wonderful schools, right? Your school administration is great. If you look online, nationally ranked accredited programs. So that to me is very important for my families because they're attracted to that, right? They want their children to go to great schools. Then a spouse is like, hey, I'm moving up to the North Country. I have a teaching degree, but it's going to take me a while to get the accreditation, or nursing or other professional trades that now it's easier for those spouses to go to work. And again, that improves their quality of life. It improves and makes the service, for the family more enjoyable. Kelly was a dietitian, or is a dietitian, and when she was working, getting that accreditation, changing her credentials, as I said, paying for that, was always, something that she had on her to-do list, in addition to, taking care of me and the kids and trying to be a part of our family readiness group. So I think it's just wonderful that you guys do that. And, also I do respect the state having high standards though. That's when we started talking about this. I said, I was really impressed that New York wanted to ensure the professionals coming to their state, again, nursing, teaching, whatever, would demand high standards. But I do appreciate also that the reciprocity is now there for our folks, make it easier for them to work.
Our civilian community gets a lot of praise from the military for our ability to work with you and to support families, but are there things that you wish were being done better?
I I don't know, Kathy. One, we have obviously awesome community members like yourself that are interested in helping us. So your patriotism to help America's families, America's soldiers' families, has been really, to me, inspiring. As I said, what I think is important, like limited times I've come to your schools, what I see as school administrators understanding that children from our families come into your school and need to be loved on. They need to be accepted. Teenage life is tough enough when you have to change schools and make new friends. Like the sports coaches, I think, give our kids a little bit extra look. I think before they cut them from a team where you got a great lacrosse team or football team at Carthage. It's nice that the coaches find a place for our kids to play, and to me it's really important. The attention the military kids have at the school with clubs, for example, that sort of sponsors to help a person get onboarded is remarkable. The business opportunities, I think, like you said, with being able to work is great. The fact that we're welcome anywhere we go. My son went out to ski this weekend at the great hill by our home and loved it. And there's a community who's just got a smile on their face and willing to help us. So I don't see much you guys haven't done for us. Additionally, I should say, you got Mark Walczyk and other assembly people, pushing our initiatives. Rep Stefanik she calls me, believe it or not, like every quarter just to check in. Amazing. So you got a very, 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 very busy person calling to say hello. Same with Senator Gillibrand and Senator Schumer, are constantly asking what we can do, what they can do for us. And, that to me is very impressive. And additionally, the folks, the professionals that work on our base, the people that live in your community, many of them, I like to, I hate to boast too strongly on them, but like Eric Wagner, Jeff Long, I can go John Williams, our civilian professionals are probably the best I've seen in the Army. And I think it's sort of the North Country blue collar approach and being friends, and they're very just happy in their work. And what I see that as representation of what I see in the community.
One of the issues we're
visit
hearing.
your business.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Please, go ahead, Kathy.
One of the issues.
Please go ahead, Kathy.
One of the issues we're hearing about throughout the country is the problem with housing for military installations. I know, we've gone through several rounds of trying to improve housing with the original 801 housing and so forth, and now a lot of it's focused on housing on actual military installations. What is the situation at Fort Drum?
Well, we're lucky. We could be sort of a modern post, right? Although the post has been there a long time, when we stood 10th Mountain up to be make our home here in the North Country, the Army put a lot of money into fairly new housing. So we're blessed with really good accommodations. Army is to our civilian partners, is holding each other accountable for the maintenance of our structures. From Sergeant Major Trennis to myself, making sure we have folks who can, take care of the dwellings that we give them and the barracks that we provide them. But we're in pretty good shape, frankly, and we're grateful for that our soldiers have a great place to live, and both the single soldiers that live in our barracks and then the families that live in housing on post. And so we think we're in real good shape. So I appreciate you asking that.
That's good. What about excuse me? What about projects on post? With more soldiers coming home, less soldiers deployed, I'm assuming that there will be more focus on the installations. Are there certain projects on post that you really want to see completed or that you think are crucial?
Yeah, Kathy, we, from a deployability standpoint, the Army, with the support of our civilian leadership in the area, is providing us a new rail spur, essentially. They will increase our ability to outload the 10th Mountain to get to the ports that we need to, send our vehicles. Our airfield's in great shape. We recently had some additions there. Our hangars are incredible. So that part of Fort Drum, little gem there that we have a place we can deploy by, strategic airlift and have awesome maintenance facilities for our combat aviation brigade. We also have first class ranges. We have a huge impact area where we do a lot of good work, not only for ourselves, but for the National Guard and Reserve forces that are in the area. And yeah, as always, I think in the North Country, the Army's been contemplating how to give us a little bit better shelter for fitness facilities. We recently refurbished a building, a large, older building that had a lot of space to make it into an indoor gym with, sort of astroturf in that facility to help us get after some functional fitness. But again, we're in pretty good shape. Most of us are home, so 18,000 of us are home. There's only about a small percentage above that is here right now. So we've had to stay on top of this, all the time. Gyms are in good shape. So our Major Trennis and the senior NCOs have been really, as I said, making sure that our single soldiers have a great place to live and work. Our company operation facilities and TOCs and JOCs, which are the joint operation centers and the headquarters where we work, if you've had a chance to visit, they're really nice. So I think we're in really good shape, frankly.
Good. I just read this morning about the possibility of expanding training into the Adirondack region. There was a story regarding the Adirondack Park Agency, which has some environmental concerns about the number of soldiers and flights that would be over the Adirondack protected region. Where is that? Do you know what status that's in, and how do you feel about it?
Yeah, trying to be desirable post to train, as we look at competition against our peers, a lot of our work happens for, sort of low flight that can, infiltrate into space. And so we've just needed ability to, stretch our legs a bit. So, I have helicopters, of course. As I said, we have a great training facility with a lot of acres of training space, but relative to infiltration lengths or lengths that we'd need for aviation opportunities, we've sought ways to, of course, respecting the community and their desires for overflight, is try to develop ways with them on, infiltration opportunities for the helicopters. And that really helps us provide better training opportunities for the whole force. And so we've been working with the community about the right way to do that, and established, special sensors and stuff to help us on base present signatures that, help us train. And so we think it's integral to the training, and, certainly we respect the feedback from the community about how best to do that. We don't think this is like every night type of thing. This is like a once in a quarter, twice in a quarter type of event. So we don't necessarily think this is going to be have much of an impact on the community, but certainly we need folks' feedback and cooperation for how to do it best.
So you think that's something that will continue to be discussed?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. And what I've seen with a lot of these type of endeavors, we'll work with the community, to allow us to, conduct a couple of these training repetitions, and then, see where it goes. But I think it is important to our readiness.
Would that mean expansion of training for other units coming in from National Guard and so forth?
No, Cathy, I think we, if you didn't know, we have a very vibrant partnership with the sort of Northeastern National Guard and Reserve units. And a lot of our summer trainers are National Guard Reserves. We have a really big complex, really a building complex and headquarters that they use when they come here. It's got building for well over 500 people. They use that as a base of support while they use our ranges. So I don't necessarily see an increase in because it's already it's a high density training area for our Northeast partners during the summer. So we see a lot of them there. Matter of fact, we see them there on several weekends, a month, frankly, as well.
Good. Another issue that we're seeing around the country on military installations and it's being discussed is the issue with sexual harassment in the military. And it's really become a topic of conversation, which perhaps it wasn't before. How do you feel about the way things are being handled now? And if you are seeing a lot of progress in that area?
Well, I'm grateful that we're on a team that continues to evaluate, how we serve our soldiers and our family members. And, our goal is to make this Army an awesome place to serve for everybody. With that, as I said, with the introduction of the Army values in '95, in my time in service, we just continue to evaluate, are we demonstrating respect for other people? And not only demonstrating, but showing folks that we care for everybody, and we're trying to make it comfortable for them to work in. We know how detrimental sexual harassment or assault is to our team, and so I think the Army's done a lot of great work. But like a lot of teams, we got a lot of work to do. Certainly, our team, the teams I've served on, and certainly at Fort Drum, we take it very seriously about first educating folks about, how to establish a healthy environment for everybody working, right? So regardless of who you are, you feel comfortable to work with us. And then we can protect you. And educating people that come from, as myriad of backgrounds, we have the awesome responsibility to share what our values are, as I said earlier. And I see this as a terrific challenge, despite that, sometimes things go wrong. The other thing I think good teams do, and what our Army does, and I think we do pretty well at Fort Drum, is we take on those challenges, right away, head on. And so we don't accept, overlooking things that should be addressed. And this is also challenging because, it takes courage for somebody to raise their hand and say, hey, something's not going right in my unit. And then it takes responsible leaders to not seek retribution events against somebody that brings that to our but thank them actually, and then bring it forward to the team so that folks aren't, team's not broken down because people are commenting on the way we behave or the way we comport ourselves in the presence of others. And so, again, I'm encouraged by the way our leaders are taking this on, but I would be naive to suggest that I don't, we still don't have, pockets of folks who don't understand the importance of this, or they don't have the respect that we'd all like them to have, or they just don't have the impulse control or discipline. And, raising, a bunch of 18 to 30-year-olds, I think this is really, really important topic. We hope that, as you suggest, not only fix this problem, but help them to grow as men and women. We hope the experience with us is you learn how to, be a part of a great community and a team, that the lessons you learn about respect, or, and in this case, prevention of sexual harassment, helps you become a great teammate anywhere. So these lessons that we're trying to teach our soldiers, we think are applicable, of course, to everybody. But
are you personally seeing more reports, or is more information coming to you from your soldiers?
Yeah, we get and we have a very robust equal opportunity and SHARP office and IG office. So the good news, and our chaplain corps is really good, our medical professional corps is good, and our leadership is good. So we get tons of reports daily that are, happen at a very low level. So, we like the fact that people can communicate and fix things locally. So our equal opportunity advisors assist us on, conflict resolution at the lowest level. We like to see things early and often, or not often, but early, so that we can have these discussions before they blow into something bigger, or a person has to suffer, weeks or months, with something that we wish he would have said earlier, so we could have addressed it, right? And I think our leader involvement has been really good. But yeah, we get a number. It's not remarkably higher than I've seen before, but I think it is a healthy drumbeat of information to us about how we're doing well or not doing well. So, I assess as our communication is good. I think the leaders take it seriously, and like I said, when we find something, try to fix it at the lowest level first, and then, but though we're not afraid to elevate that to our level to, intercede or act if we need to. And then, if we do find somebody that doesn't share our values, unfortunately, it's our responsibility to address that. And we first want to love on somebody, but they understand that if they violate the rules that we've established, then we will attempt to adjust that behavior if it needs to be.
Retention of 10th Mountain Division soldiers is historically pretty high. Are you seeing that trend continue? Do you expect it to?
Yeah, and credit to our leadership that it's really important that our first line leaders, the non-commissioned officers and junior officers, believe in what we're doing or having a great opportunity here at 10th Mountain. And Sergeant Major Trennis has done a great job again recently, sharing what opportunities exist and getting a pretty high turnout for reenlistment. So we're real happy with the current team offering opportunities for our soldiers, and those guys taking up that opportunity. So yeah, it's going pretty well.
Good. Well, our time is running short, so I'm going to ask you if there's anything in particular you want to address to the group.
I think I think the opportunity is awesome. I don't know who came up with interviews and insights, but I'm happy to have this opportunity to speak to all the people today. I think as I probably tried to say throughout the time here, I think the Army is a great institution. I think we have been a place where as America even takes a look at racism and other things, that we are a place that we can try to show what right looks like. And you have exceptional folks with a great loyalty to our institutions that make this place a great place to live and work. And so I'm grateful that the community members that are the Americans, fathers and mothers and friends send us their most cherished possessions to work with us. As I said, I got the greatest job in America is because you guys send me your kids. And so I think the opportunity to serve our country, to help people grow as people of honor, to help people grow as professionals, to help come over here and serve, if that's what we ask for, makes the Army a great place to be. And certainly, as I said, being up here at Fort Drum is even more special because we have a great, close community in the North Country. So again, I feel blessed to, have this opportunity to serve. We were talking about the 10th Mountain the other day, and I found out that one of my guys here, Sergeant Major Jeff Becker, he and I were here in 2001 together. And not together. He was one of the first deployers for 10th Mountain. I was with a special operations unit, the month that this war started. And here we are together 20 years later, still in the same endeavor. And, what we both recognize is, although some sacrifice had come, he's actually been awarded the Purple Heart. He wouldn't trade any of those times with his soldiers here for anything. And to me, it's quite priceless.
Thank you so much. Thanks for spending time with us today. We really appreciate it. We are recording this, so it will be available on the Advocate Drum website. And please give everyone our regards, and it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, Cathy, thanks so much. And thanks everybody from the Advocate Drum team. And can't wait to get back and see you. And hopefully COVID will clear up and I can treat you to a meal at the house or.
I hope you're right. I
know, wouldn't it be nice? Yeah, I think that's the challenge with leading through COVID too. It's the physical distancing. The term social distancing we sort of I don't like. I like, hey, you got to be physical distance, but try to keep that social engagement. And that's important for the children as I watch them struggle through how to get through their high school years with this COVID experience, or us as team building, or even the community. Like, I've been blessed again to have, social interactions with you and others that, when want to give up for the world. And, we're hopeful that we, like I said, with the vaccine and everything, we can beat this virus and get back to normal. So thanks so much for the opportunity, guys. And thanks for all you do for our community and our soldiers.
Thank you.
All right, Kath. Well, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.